In the future timeline, the entire multiverse was erased, or so the story goes. Both Vegeta and the Grand Priest see the same vision. They see that same 16-year-old just floating around in infinite emptiness. The only thing that exists in the future is him. All else had been erased, pretty much exactly like when Zeno erases a timeline and just floats there in nothingness but doesn't die. The Grand Priest immediately pulls up to planet Sadala together with Zalama. He knows that he can't allow the Saiyans any more freedom with Primal Instinct, or else their timeline will suffer the same fate. It's nothing personal, just business. Coincidentally, Caries, the son of Zykor and Kale, had been looking into the past through his memories. If you guys have not caught up already on what if Goku and Vegeta wish their tails back, this has been probably, well, easily my longest running and favorite series of all time that I've done on the channel. So if you guys do want to catch up, the link to the entire first saga movie as well as the previous video will be down below in the description box, as well as up on the top of the screen. But as far as from where we head from here on out, well, let's hop right in. Coincidentally, Caries had been looking into the past through his memories at this moment as well. When Vegeta decides to be difficult and transforms into Super Saiyan 5 to challenge the Grand Priest, a path emerges for the future Caries to come to the present. He takes that plunge, and with that, the same Caries that had erased the multiverse in the future arrives in the present. And immediately, the entire multiverse starts to glitch. The same thing that happened in the future is about to happen in the present if nobody does something. Caries' very existence is a threat to the multiverse. Fortunately, the Grand Priest and Vegeta had already seen the worst of Primal Instinct thanks to the vision they had of the future. The moment Caries arrives, they immediately act. The Grand Priest traps him in a domain and detaches him from the multiverse, while Vegeta enters his primal domain to help. That was a bit too close, Vegeta says as he exits the seal. See what I'm getting at, Vegeta? For this Saiyan, erasing the multiverse is as natural as breathing. We simply can't allow him to exist, the Grand Priest states. Vegeta stays quiet. He just looks at Caries, not the one trapped in the domain, but the one he had been holding. He looks at baby Caries, and then he looks at the Caries trapped in the domain. It's small, minute even, but Vegeta notices a strange disconnect between these two. It's in the eyes. While baby Caries' eyes are just black, future Caries' eyes are void. They aren't just black, they were every color but almost no color at the same time. He hands the baby over to Goku, who then goes inside and hands him over to his dad Zykor. Vegeta then asks the Grand Priest to allow him to enter the domain again. The Grand Priest obliges because he can just keep them trapped inside for all eternity if he wants. I mean, the problem will just solve itself. Heck, he even invites Goku to enter the domain along with Vegeta. I mean, that just knocks out half of these Saiyans. Vegeta wasn't so sure about this though, but it was too late. Goku had already made up his mind. Both Goku and Vegeta are teleported inside the domain where they meet and greet Caries. Vegeta and Super Saiyan 5 Goku, it's you guys, Caries states. He was ecstatic. Who knows how long it had been since Caries saw anyone, let alone another Saiyan with the same powers as him. We're talking about unimaginable, incomprehensible levels of loneliness. Tell us, Caries, what happened? How did you erase the multiverse? Vegeta asks. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I was the one that did that. Everything was going fine. I was just exploring the universe. Then suddenly, poof, everything disappeared, Caries replies. Vegeta seems puzzled by this response. What's wrong, Vegeta? Goku asks. Nothing, just that unless I'm missing something, this just isn't how Primal Instinct works. You can mold anything however you want, bend reality even, but you can't erase anything. Therefore, this response doesn't really make sense to me, Vegeta replies. Hey, what if the multiverse didn't disappear after all? What if Caries accidentally created a new one where only he exists and nothing else? Goku sort of jokes around. Goku didn't think he'd take him serious at all, but his words leave Vegeta speechless. The Grand Priest and Zalama, who were listening from outside, were stunned as well. Yeah, but you saw the same thing happen just now, didn't you? If the Grand Priest hadn't trapped Caries when he did, the same thing surely would have happened to this multiverse, Vegeta argues. He was trying to see the logic in what Goku was saying. As for Caries, he was deep in thought, trying desperately to see if this is in fact what happened. The Grand Priest, on the other hand, approaches them along with Zalama. Goku, you've in fact made a good point, but what about the vision I experienced of the future? Why would it show me Carries' new multiverse and not the regular one, the Grand Priest asks. Maybe it's because of me. Thinking about it now, isn't the reason Carries came here also because I transformed? There's a direct path or link to the future, but it goes in two directions. Carries' multiverse and the regular multiverse is like a fork in the road, Vegeta replies. You guys are forgetting that this is still all just speculation. Unless it's proven otherwise, Carries erased the multiverse, and we need to do something about this, Zalama adds. Meanwhile, Zycor and Kale are just trying not to panic. Their infant baby has been deemed a threat to the entire multiverse by the Grand Priest and Zalama. I don't know guys, I highly doubt Carries erased the multiverse by accident, Vegeta stresses. Don't forget Thanatos did something similar back during the early stages of the multiverse. He is the reason there ended up being 18 universes instead of just one universe like it was supposed to be, the Grand Priest states. I know, but that and this are different, and let's get one thing out of the way, Grand Priest. I'm not letting you kill Carries, Vegeta declares. Oh, killing him wouldn't be enough. I'll have to eliminate him from every timeline to ever exist. You don't understand the position you guys are in, Vegeta. I've decided to thoroughly cleanse the multiverse of any and all traces of Primal Instinct. We simply don't need that, the Grand Priest states. Well, how about asking Super Shenron to do that? I assure you, he can definitely make it impossible for any sentient being to ever use Primal Instinct, Zalama suggests. A rare suggestion indeed that probably could have stopped all of this when Thanatos did it the first time, the Grand Priest declares. But that's in the past now. Vegeta just stares at them both with a deadly look in his eyes, waiting for them to make whatever move they were gonna make, while Goku is just a few meters away, chilling and kinda just looking at everybody confused. Why have you suddenly started looking so reassured, Grand Priest? I'm not letting Super Shenron do anything. It's Saiyan family business, so just buzz off, Vegeta states. I'm amazed you've managed to survive this long with such a big mouth, Vegeta. You truly are one of a kind, the Grand Priest adds. Whatever. You and your incompetence have never succeeded in mastering Primal Instinct, so don't talk to me like you're suddenly in charge here. The Saiyans are the first race in history to ever awaken the completed form, so just relax and let us figure this out, Vegeta replies. You guys think he's right about that or not? Vegeta's sounding a little unhinged here, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, he's standing on business. Subsequently, Carries whispers in Goku's ear and asks him who this guy is arguing with Vegeta. Goku explains that he is an angel who serves the Omni King, and he also happens to be one of the top 5 strongest fighters in the entire multiverse. Then he points to Zalama and mentions that that's the Dragon God, whose creations can grant just about anything you wish for. Carries was a little confused by this explanation as they just kinda sounded like fairy tale characters, but I mean, I guess at this point anything is possible. He interrupts Vegeta's arguing with the Grand Priest by using some really straightforward logic. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt, but if I really erase the multiverse, doesn't that mean I erased Mr. Grand Priest and the Omni King guy and also Mr. Zalama right here? Primal Instinct or not, think about it. Is it really possible for a 16-year-old kid to just erase the primary authorities of the multiverse without even realizing it, Carries states? The Grand Priest couldn't argue with that logic because doing that would mean accepting Carries as his superior. And if he does that, he would have no authority to tell Vegeta what to do. Vegeta, on the other hand, just laughs because he knows the Grand Priest will never accept being erased by a 16-year-old. Vegeta was damn near acting like Carries was his son at this point. Alright, so let's just say Carries and Goku are right. There's still always the risk of Primal Instinct, and to be fair, I'd rather have a 16-year-old not have it just to be safe, Zalama adds. Vegeta goes up and pats him on the shoulder. I think you're forgetting somebody, Lord Zalama. It's not just a 16-year-old, there's also a 1-year-old infant with the same powers as the first god of destruction who divided the multiverse into 18 different parts. So what are you suggesting now, the Grand Priest asks. If anything random were to happen, it would have already happened. Infants with infinite power are more dangerous than teenagers with infinite power. I'd say the multiverse is now a much safer place than before, considering how Primal Instinct is now complete, he says. Vegeta then walks up to Carries, looks him in the eye and asks, Alright kid, tell me, what do you desire? You must have some strange, twisted wish in your heart that resulted in the creation of that other multiverse. Tell me about it. Carries is taken aback. He isn't sure how to answer at first. He even turns towards Goku, thinking that he may be able to give him some ideas, but one look at Goku's face and he knows he's all on his own. I think it's because I've never been able to go all out. The last time I sparred with you was 5 years ago, Vegeta. We couldn't go all out because I hadn't figured out how to master the Primal Instinct yet. Since then, there's always been this empty feeling of insecurity, I guess, in me. I want to go all out, but I'm always afraid that my powers would destroy the universe or something, and the way you guys are acting now, I'm even more scared. I even stopped turning into a Super Saiyan because of that fear, but I guess it makes sense now, right? My subconscious desire to go all out ended up creating a new multiverse where I can do that. I need not be afraid of anything, and thinking about it now, the reason I was able to come here is because I know that you would be the perfect opponent, Carries explains. There's nothing too fancy about his explanation, but it made sense. It makes perfect sense to everyone. The dots click within Vegeta's mind, and he rationalizes that the glitch they experienced must have been because Carries' multiverse was connecting to another multiverse. The Grand Priest was lost for words. This is preposterous, Zalama speaks. That might be an understatement even. Vegeta just grins and tells Carries that it's fine, he'll fight him, but Goku stops him and then does the unexplainable. During his travels, Goku continued gaining a better and more thorough understanding of his primal instinct while also using unusual techniques. One of these techniques is called forced energy acquisition. This is when Goku asserts his own primal instinct upon something and then uses forced spirit vision to acquire it. He does exactly that with Carries and uses forced energy acquisition on it. Now, if they weren't in a domain completely detached from the rest of the multiverse, Universe 6 and the nearby universes would have trembled under this, but here, Goku would just casually transform into a Super Saiyan 5 and acquires all the primal instinct Vegeta injected Carries with. What the heck just happened, Vegeta asks. The Grand Priest and Zalama just look at each other, just as confused as everyone else. While Carries, on the other hand, had never felt more alive than right now. That weight, that curse had finally been lifted off of his shoulders, and he can now challenge just about anyone and get stronger the normal way. Meanwhile, Goku? You see, Vegeta? You were wrong. By giving Carries that much power, you stole his birthright, that of growth. I've been a Super Saiyan 5 for a while now too, and freeing Carries was my plan all along. We shouldn't want this for him, Goku says, while signaling the Grand Priest to undo the domain. Alright, Vegeta, how about it? Go and use the same technique I used, but on baby Carries. Get those chaotic powers away from him. Do that, and I'll take you on. Let's do it, Vegeta. You and me, one-on-one, just like old times, Goku declares. Vegeta couldn't believe what he was hearing. He just burst into laughter. You are honestly the best, Kakarot. This is gonna be the greatest fight in history. Let's do it.